Good morning, afternoon, evening, everyone. We've all heard the phrase mind over matter, but what does it truly mean? In a world that often prioritizes the physical, the tangible, and the measurable, we tend to forget that our greatest power comes from within. It's not about what we can see or touch, but about the thoughts we cultivate, the mindset we embrace, and the belief we have in ourselves. Today, I want to talk about how our minds shape our reality, and how the way we choose to think can either propel us forward or hold us back. It all starts with a simple but profound idea. If you can change the way you think, you can change the way you live. The power of mindset shapes your reality. Our mindset is the lens through which we view the world. It influences how we react to challenges, how we interpret our successes, and how we deal with setbacks. Whether we realize it or not, our mindset is a powerful force that determines the trajectory of our lives. When we speak of a mind over matter, we are essentially acknowledging the profound impact that our thoughts, beliefs, and attitudes have on our experiences. From the moment we wake up in the morning, the way we think shapes our actions and reactions. A positive mindset can make the difference between a day filled with possibilities and a day consumed by obstacles. When we approach challenges with an optimistic mindset, we see solutions rather than problems. We become more resilient, more creative, and more adaptable. In contrast, when we operate from a place of negativity or fear, we often create mental barriers that limit our potential. The power of mindset is evident in how we perceive the situations we face. It's not the circumstances that define us, but the way we choose to interpret and respond to them. In many ways, our mindset acts as a self-fulfilling prophecy. If we believe we are capable of overcoming obstacles, we are more likely to take the necessary actions to do so. On the other hand, if we believe that failure is inevitable, we are more likely to avoid taking risks and seize opportunities. Our beliefs about ourselves and our abilities become the foundation for the choices we make, and those choices ultimately shape our reality. Consider the role of mindset in the pursuit of goals. Whether you are striving for career success, financial independence, or personal growth, the way you think about your goals has a significant impact on your ability to achieve them. A growth mindset, a belief that abilities and intelligence can be developed through hard work and perseverance, encourages persistence, resilience, and a willingness to learn from failure. People with a growth mindset view challenges as opportunities for growth, not as insurmountable obstacles. This mindset fosters a sense of self-efficacy, which is the belief that you can influence the outcomes of your efforts. In contrast, a fixed mindset, where individuals believe their abilities are static and unchangeable, leads to avoidance of challenges and a fear of failure. Those with a fixed mindset are more likely to give up when faced with difficulties, as they perceive failure as a reflection of their inherent limitations rather than an opportunity to learn and grow. The mindset you choose can either propel you forward or hold you back, and it's essential to recognize the impact that your thoughts have on your outcomes. The power of mindset extends beyond personal achievement. It also influences how we interact with others. When we approach relationships with a positive and open mindset, we are more likely to build trust, foster collaboration, and cultivate strong, supportive connections. Our mindset shapes the way we communicate, the way we listen, and the way we empathize with others. A positive mindset in relationships can lead to greater harmony and understanding, while a negative mindset can create unnecessary tension and conflict. The way we perceive ourselves is also a reflection of our mindset. How we view our worth, capabilities, and potential determines the choices we make in our personal and professional lives. If we believe we are worthy of success, we are more likely to pursue it with confidence and determination. If we believe we are unworthy or incapable, we may hesitate or even sabotage our own progress. The mindset we adopt about ourselves has a profound impact on how we navigate the world and the opportunities we attract. It's important to recognize that mindset is not something we are born with. It's something we can cultivate and change. Just as we can train our muscles to become stronger through exercise, we can train our minds to become more resilient, positive, and focused through practice. Developing a mindset that supports our goals and aspirations requires intentional effort and self-awareness. It involves challenging negative thoughts, reframing limiting beliefs, and consistently choosing to focus on what's possible rather than what's impossible. One of the key components of mindset is self-talk, the internal dialogue we have with ourselves. The words we say to ourselves on a daily basis shape how we feel and how we act. If we constantly tell ourselves that we are not good enough, that we will fail, or that success is out of reach, we are reinforcing a mindset of limitation. On the other hand, if we encourage ourselves with affirmations of strength, resilience, and potential, we cultivate a mindset of possibility. The way we speak to ourselves has the power to either empower or disempower us, and it's crucial to recognize the impact of our inner dialogue. In many ways, the mind is the ultimate battleground. It is here that we face our fears, our doubts, and our insecurities. It is here that we decide whether to embrace challenges or avoid them. The power of mindset is that it gives us the ability to control the narrative of our lives. We have the power to choose how we respond to the events and circumstances that come our way. By consciously shaping our mindset, we can create a reality that aligns with our aspirations, values, and goals. The power of mindset shapes your reality because it influences everything you think, feel, and do. It shapes the way you view yourself, others, and the world around you. The beliefs you hold about your abilities, your worth, and your potential have a profound impact on the actions you take and the outcomes you achieve. Recognizing the power of mindset and harnessing it for your benefit is one of the most powerful tools you can use to create the life you desire. Overcoming obstacles starts with changing your perspective. Obstacles are an inevitable part of life. They come in many forms: challenges in our personal lives, setbacks in our careers, unforeseen difficulties in our health, and even external events that disrupt our plans. What separates those who rise above these challenges from those who remain stuck is how they perceive and react to these obstacles. Overcoming obstacles is not just about finding a way around them. It's about changing how we view them in the first place. The moment we shift our perspective, we unlock the ability to not only face challenges, but to transform them into opportunities for growth and improvement. The way we perceive obstacles plays a crucial role in determining whether we'll overcome them or be defeated by them. Most of us are naturally inclined to view obstacles as threats, something to be feared, avoided, or resented. However, this perspective often leads to feelings of helplessness and frustration. When we see obstacles as insurmountable walls that block our progress, we are likely to give up before even attempting to climb or go around them. Our initial reaction is to retreat, avoid, or become discouraged by the idea of failure. But what if we could change that perspective? What if we saw obstacles not as walls, but as opportunities to learn, grow, and test our abilities? One powerful way to shift our perspective is to view obstacles as stepping stones rather than roadblocks. Every challenge presents an opportunity for growth, self-discovery, and development. When we face difficulties, we have the chance to become more resourceful, more creative, and more resilient. We develop new skills, uncover hidden strengths, and learn valuable lessons that we wouldn't have encountered otherwise. Woot? For example, a failure at work may seem like the end of the road, but if we change our perspective, it can become an opportunity to evaluate what went wrong, adjust our approach, and try again with a deeper understanding of how to succeed. Overcoming obstacles is not always about achieving the desired outcome right away. It's about the lessons we learn along the way and the person we become in the process. Another way to shift our perspective is to recognize that obstacles are often temporary and not as permanent as they may initially seem. In times of difficulty, it's easy to get caught up in the intensity of the moment and lose sight of the bigger picture. What feels like a life-altering crisis today may, in hindsight, turn out to be a small bump in the road. By remembering that challenges are often transient, we can approach them with a sense of patience and persistence. This shift in perspective allows us to endure through the tough moments, knowing that they are not the end but a part of the larger journey toward success. The ability to reframe obstacles also involves recognizing that they are often a natural part of the path to success. Every person who has achieved greatness has faced obstacles along the way, whether it's Thomas Edison failing thousands of times before inventing the light bulb, or J.K. Rowling being rejected by multiple publishers before Harry Potter became a global phenomenon. History is filled with stories of individuals who turned obstacles into stepping stones. These people didn't give up when they encountered difficulties. Instead, they adjusted their mindset and used the obstacles as fuel to propel them forward. By viewing obstacles as part of the process rather than as something to be feared, we develop the resilience to keep going despite the setbacks. Changing our perspective on obstacles also means understanding that they often help us clarify our goals and priorities. When everything is going smoothly, we may be content with the status quo and fail to notice areas in our lives that need improvement. However, it is during times of challenge that we are forced to reevaluate our approach and reassess our priorities. When we face an obstacle, it can prompt us to ask important questions. Is this goal truly aligned with my values? Am I willing to put in the effort required to overcome this challenge? Do I need to adjust my approach or change direction altogether? Obstacles push us to dig deeper into what we truly want and what we are willing to do to achieve it. It's also important to recognize that obstacles are often the result of our own perceptions. A challenge that may seem insurmountable at first can often appear smaller or more manageable when viewed from a different angle. The concept of mind over matter applies here. The way we mentally frame the obstacle can significantly impact how we handle it. A simple shift in thought, such as replacing a "Tanta" with "I can figure this out," can completely change the outcome. When we believe that we have the resources, support, and capabilities to handle the situation, the obstacle becomes something we are equipped to overcome. On the other hand, if we approach it with a mindset of defeat, we may find ourselves overwhelmed and paralyzed. In addition to changing how we view the obstacle itself, it is crucial to change how we view failure. Too often, failure is seen as a reflection of our inadequacies or as something to be avoided at all costs. However, failure is not an end, but a part of the journey. When we fail, it's not an indication that we are incapable. Rather, it's an indication that we are pushing ourselves, testing our limits, and learning. Each failure offers us an opportunity to recalibrate, adapt, and try again. Overcoming obstacles doesn't mean avoiding failure, but embracing it as a necessary component of success. Failure teaches us what works and what doesn't, and with each lesson learned, we grow closer to our goals. Ultimately, overcoming obstacles is not just about perseverance, but about changing our perception of what it means to face challenges. It's about seeing obstacles not as threats, but as opportunities to grow, learn, and evolve. When we shift our perspective, we gain the ability to navigate life's challenges with resilience and optimism. This change in mindset transforms obstacles from barriers into catalysts for progress, propelling us forward on our journey towards success. Embracing failure as a stepping stone to success requires a shift in mindset, an understanding that failure is not the end but a crucial part of the process. The journey to achieving anything meaningful is rarely linear. It's filled with moments of challenge, uncertainty, and yes, failure. But within these failures lies the very foundation of our success. They are not obstacles to be avoided, but opportunities to grow, to adapt, and to become better versions of ourselves. Too often, people shy away from taking risks because they fear failure. They believe that failure is something to be feared, something that should be avoided at all costs. This perspective limits potential and keeps us from stepping outside of our comfort zones. The reality, however, is that success cannot be achieved without experiencing failure along the way. Failure is not a sign of weakness or inadequacy. Instead, it is proof that we are trying, that we are pushing ourselves to do something new, to go beyond what we already know. Each failure serves as a reminder that we are growing, learning, and evolving. When we embrace failure as a stepping stone, we begin to see the value in the lessons it teaches us. Failure teaches us what works and what doesn't. It gives us insights into our strategies, our decision-making, and our approach. Without failure, we would have no way of knowing what needs to be improved or what needs to change. In fact, failure often provides more valuable information than success ever could. When we succeed, we celebrate, but we don't always understand the full picture of why something worked. Success can sometimes be a result of chance or timing, while failure always comes with a clear lesson, a lesson that we can apply moving forward. This is why many successful people, including entrepreneurs, athletes, and leaders, often emphasize the importance of learning from failure. They know that failure is part of the equation, and it is how we respond to failure that determines our trajectory. For instance, in the tech industry, failures are often seen as part of the innovation process. Many of the most groundbreaking companies have faced significant setbacks and failures along the way. But the key is in how these companies have turned those failures into opportunities for growth. They iterate, they adapt, and they learn from their mistakes. Consider the story of the early days of Apple. Steve Jobs and Steve Wozniak faced multiple failures before Apple became the global powerhouse it is today. Jobs was famously ousted from the company he founded, and yet he didn't see this as the end of his journey. Instead, he went on to found NeXT and later returned to Apple, bringing with him new ideas, fresh perspectives, and a greater understanding of what was needed to truly succeed. His ability to embrace failure and use it as a stepping stone is a key reason why Apple became the company it is today. Failure also plays a vital role in personal growth. We often think of success as the ultimate goal, but in reality, the process of getting there is where the real growth happens. Every time we fail and learn from it, we become more resilient, more capable, and more adaptable. Failure forces us to confront our limitations, to challenge our assumptions, and to expand our horizons. It teaches us humility and resilience, two qualities that are indispensable on the road to success. In the personal development world, it is often said that failure is the best teacher. When we succeed too easily, we don't learn as much. Success can sometimes lull us into complacency, making us believe that we have all the answers. Failure, on the other hand, forces us to question our approach, our strategies, and our decisions. It humbles us, and in doing so, it opens the door to new learning and growth. Every time we encounter failure, we have an opportunity to refine our skills, to develop new strategies, and to become more effective in our pursuits. Moreover, embracing failure as a stepping stone helps build a mindset that is focused on long-term success rather than short-term gratification. Many people are quick to give up when faced with failure because they are focused on immediate results. However, success is rarely instantaneous. It is the result of sustained effort, continuous learning, and the ability to push through obstacles. When we view failure as a necessary part of the process, we become more patient and persistent. We understand that success is not about avoiding failure, but about learning from it and continuing to move forward. Athletes, for example, understand the importance of failure in their training and competition. A runner doesn't get faster without pushing past their limits and failing along the way. A basketball player doesn't become great without missing shots and making mistakes during practice. The key is not in avoiding these failures, but in using them as opportunities to refine skills, adjust techniques, and develop mental toughness. Each failure teaches something new, whether it's about physical strength, mental fortitude, or the importance of discipline and focus. The same principles apply in business. Entrepreneurs often face failure after failure before finding success. They may launch products that don't sell, make decisions that backfire, or face financial struggles. But those failures provide essential feedback that can be used to pivot, adjust strategies, and ultimately find the right path. The process of trial and error is how innovation happens, and without failure, there would be no room for creativity or progress. In both personal and professional life, failure is an inevitable part of growth. It is not something to be feared or avoided, but something to be embraced as a necessary part of the journey. When we learn to see failure as a stepping stone, we unlock our full potential, gaining the resilience, insight, and determination needed to succeed. Through failure, we learn what doesn't work, but more importantly, we learn how to make what does work even better.